Hello, everybody. I am here with Chris Williams, the man who shot 898 yesterday at AMF East Meadow. Set the house record yesterday with games of 299, 300, and 299. Absolutely incredible bowling. Chris, first of all, Chris, thank you for agreeing to the interview.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate.
yes, sir. Questions. So let's start simple. So at the beginning of the night, so you're a regular in this league, correct?
Yes, I am.
And the bowling ball you were using, the Hammer Ocean Vibe.
Yes, it was.
And at the beginning of the night, is that the ball that you planned on using, or were you messing around with different balls?
No, actually, in practice, I had just picked up a Black Widow Ghost, and my intent was to throw that ball for the night. So when I went into practice. I threw me probably 8, 9 shots, struck every shot, playing inside, and then the last like 2 minutes of practice, I was like, you know what? Let me throw the vibe, see what kind of look I get with it, because since I've had it, I haven't thrown it. And again, I'm striking every shot, and I'm playing my version of more front to back on the lanes, not really looping the ball too much. And I struck. So right before we started bowling, I said to John Cummings, my partner, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start out playing right and see how long I can stay there with this ball. And that was all she wrote. I never had to move.
And so you started the first game, you front 11, and you ended up shooting 299. What was the pin that you left in the first game?
It was actually a 10 pin. That first game, I actually threw a very bad shot, the second ball in the 10th, and I missed in. The ball just stayed straight on like 14, and I carried. It was dead flush, carried. I knew it was a bad shot. A lot of other people thought it was good, but I was like, if you see me squat, I know that, yeah, I'm asking the ball to stay still. And then I flushed the last shot, making the adjustment, and 10 pin.
So after the 299, right? Obviously, you know you have a shot, you got some area, you're locked in. What are you thinking after the 299?
One of my favorite trash talkers happened to be there, Jay Hollywood.
Yep.
And he said to me, he was like, yo, you washed up. I said, what? I was like, you know what? I got the trade for you because every time you talk to me, I put something up. I got the trade next game. And there you go.
So
Trade second.
after you got 599. So the second game, you got the 300. Any breaks, any shots that didn't feel right?
I knew that I had a decent amount of area. Like if I'm starting out playing my version of right, if I miss right, but it's not like immediately. If I miss right down lane, I still know that I can get the ball to react. I had one of those shots. Um, Still good. I wasn't afraid that it wasn't going to check up or it was going to do too much. I knew I was in my zone, and everything else was just dead flush game too.
Going into game three, you got a 599 after two, which is just sick. Okay, it's just sick. So you got a 599 after two. Let me know exactly what you're thinking after game two.
I said to my partners right away, and I'm bowling with Tom Catalano, Nicole Cumberbatch, and John Cummings, and I said to them, I was like, if I don't shoot 279 minimum this last game, I'm gonna be extremely surprised because I haven't had to make any line adjustments at all for 2 games, and no one's playing where I'm at. So my mind transitioned into I want to go for 850 plus because to me that's like the prestigious club. You
Oh
got to
yeah.
get to 850 plus, and then it kind of puts you in the next tier.
Oh yeah.
So that was just my mindset, like just staying my shots. I didn't feel nerves kicking in, but
Really?
I'll admit the very last ball of that last game was probably the hardest shot that I threw the whole night.
How many people were watching you?
By that time, I want to say half of the league was still in the building, and everyone was behind the pair. Like I could hear the machine from my one lane. I could hear the cycling and everything. It was just
So,
it was quiet.
so they all knew what was going on.
Everybody figured it out. Yeah.
All right, so end of the third game, you're done. You got the 898. How do you feel?
I couldn't believe I actually got this far. I've always had that, like since last year when I went to Eric Nick's tournament and I shot big there. I felt like, okay, I could get to the 850 club again. Um, to say I was thinking that I'm gonna go 890. I didn't think that was coming anytime soon. I still feel like I have a lot to acquire in my game before I was gonna get to 890. But once I knew I was in that zone, it was just like, okay, this is your day. You just gotta take your time, do your pre-shot routine. And I gotta big up Nut Flowers because he always talks to me about your pre-shot routine, regardless of what it is. If it's longer than the next person's, but that's your routine, just stick to it. So I try to just stick to my pre-shot routine, and it works out.
Two more questions. What was your previous high before this? Series wise.
For three, it was 47.65. That was an Eric Nick's tournament. If we go front three, it was 845.
Oof.
Back three, it was 865.
Okay.
1107 for four. And then I went 47 last year on Sunday nights at Garden.
Yep.
And this is my first year in East Meadow, and I now hold a record.
How does that? Oh, yeah, that's another question. All right, so before we get to that, let's get to that. How does it feel knowing that you now have the AMF East Meadow house record?
Yeah, it's a big deal to me because I get those conversations from people, even friends of mine who's like, they'll tell me what I am and attach my name to just Garden City. So the fact that I was able to go into a new building that I'm not familiar with and put together a set the way I did, I'm glad it happened there and not East Meadow.
Yep.
Even though if I could ever take over the house record at Garden City, I'd be happy with that too. But I'll stick one house.
All right, last question. How do you go up from here? Meaning, do you think about 900? Do you, from your standpoint, how do you go up from here?
I'm gonna honestly say, like yesterday, it doesn't make me feel like I'm gonna do it at any particular time or anything. But yesterday definitely makes me feel like I can think about that. I showed myself that I can go 299, 300, and then keep striking in the third game. Because to me, after going 599 after two, anything could have started going wrong because I would have been overthinking trying to get to this number, but I just stayed in my same zone. I was still joking and having fun with my team. And when I got up there, it was game time when I got to the approach, not while I was sitting in the back.
So no, you weren't nervous at all. You were just like you stayed calm throughout.
Like I said, nerves definitely hit me on the very last shot because I knew at that point it's like I can go back-to-back trades for the second time in my life, which would have been a big deal for me. But then also I can miss total perfection by one pin if I get this last strike. So now I want this trade for those two reasons, but nerves got me in that last shot, and I pulled on it, and I missed in. It was slow off my hand. I knew it wasn't going to be a strike, and if it was, it would have just been a horrible, pin mixer or something like that. But I'll take 898.
Oh yes, absolutely. We are here with Chris Williams shooting 898 yesterday at AMF East Meadow. New house record. My man, all I can say is congratulations. Well deserved. You're a good guy, a fantastic bowler, a great dude. And seriously, I wish you all the best. That was absolutely fantastic.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I appreciate everybody who stayed around and, took in my moment with me.
Absolutely. All right, man. My man, again, keep it up. Talk to you soon.
All right, now.
All right, buddy. All right.